7th grade matter study guide. We're going to start with the terms that you need to be able to define. The first one is the ability to transfer, it's thermal conductivity, which is the ability to transfer heat from one area to another. Malleability is the ability to be pounded into thin sheets. Ductility is the ability to be drawn or pulled into a wire. Remember, you can pause this video anytime so that you can keep up with the definitions if you like. Flammability is the ability to learn. Sorry, looks like that. It's the ability to burn. Bad handwriting, Mrs. Tomlinson. Volume, the amount of space something takes up. Matter, anything that has volume and mass. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Density is the amount of matter in a given space. Weight is a measure of gravitational force exerted on an object. Reactivity means that something reacts with another substance. A physical property can be measured without changing the identity of the matter. Chemical property can describe matter based on its ability to change into a new substance. The law of conservation of mass states that matter cannot be created nor destroyed during a chemical reaction. Be able to give examples of physical properties. Some of those physical properties might be thermal conductivity. That means also it could be a plastic insulator, which means that it doesn't allow heat to pass through it, right? So an insulator or a conductor. State, malleability, color, odor, size, texture, shape, mass, volume, density. Those are all ways to describe matter. Physical changes would be melting, boiling, freezing, sanding, crushing, bending, dissolving, mixing. Chemical properties could be flammability, oxidation, reactivity. There are more, but we really just focused on flammability, oxidation, and reactivity. Chemical changes could be burning, an odor change, a color change, production of heat, production of cold, production of sound, or production of light. That means like it produced heat, cold, sound, or light. All right, I'm going to look at the next page. All right. Explain how you could find the volume of a key. You could use the water displacement technique. Number 2, Mrs. Awesome's science teacher drank some of her 40 milliliter can of awesomeness. See what I did there? How could you figure out how much awesomeness was left in the can? Well, you could pour the rest into a graduated cylinder, okay? Or into maybe a measuring cup. But we've been talking about graduated cylinders. So, number 3 says draw a diagram, or you can cut and paste from Google Images and show your work. Find the volume of a Jenga block with a width of 2 centimeters, a length of 4 centimeters, and a height of 1 centimeter. So to find volume, you use length times width times height, you get volume. So you multiply 4 times 2 is 8, times 1 is 8 centimeters. Don't forget this little 3 up there, 8 centimeters cubed. Isn't that interesting? There's a centimeter, 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 and there are 3 of them right here, right? 1, 2, 3. Isn't that interesting? 3 dimensions. Number 4, what's the difference between mass and weight? Well, weight is affected by gravity. Sometimes they're the same number, but weight is affected by gravity. All right, number 5 asks you to use a diagram, or like you can cut and paste from Google Images and show your work, to calculate the volume of a perfect cube with 1 centimeter sides. So here's a perfect cube with 1 centimeter sides. You just multiply length times width times height. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1 centimeter cubed. Make sure you have that centimeter cubed there. Okay, make sure that 3 is a little tiny at the top. Number 6, what is the difference between a physical and chemical property? Chemical properties describe the ability to change, and physical properties can be measured without changing the substance. Number 7, what is the difference between a physical and chemical change? A chemical change creates a new substance, and you can't undo a chemical change. It's really like a done thing. Number 8, list 3 to 5 examples of evidence of a chemical change. So if a chemical change has happened, you might notice an odor change, a color change. Heat is produced, cold is produced, sound is produced, light is produced, or maybe a gas is produced. Sometimes if a chemical change happens, there's like more than one of these things that happens at the same time. Number 9, a graduated cylinder has 30 milliliters of water in it, the starting volume. When a rock is placed in the water, the new measurement is 37 milliliters. What is the volume of the rock? 37, so the ending volume, take away the beginning volume. 37 minus 30 is 7 milliliters. Always make sure you include the units. All right, let's buzz this up a little higher. There we go. Number 10 says find the density of a gold ring with a mass of 9 grams and a volume of 3 centimeters cubed. Show your work. Well, density equals mass divided by volume. So density equals 9 grams mass and 3 centimeters cubed volume. So 9 divided by 3 is 3 grams per centimeter cubed. According to the law of conservation of mass, if 12 atoms react, how many atoms should be in the product? Explain your answer. Well, remember the total number of atoms that go into the reaction must be the same as produced from the reaction. So when it happens, if 12 react, 12 will be in the product. It has to balance, right? Okay, so 2 last questions. How long is the paper clip in centimeters? So if you're counting in centimeters, there's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and then these little marks in here are millimeters, but they're tenths. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3.8 centimeters. And if you measure it in millimeters, here's 10, 20, 30, 38. 38 millimeters. What units are used to measure liquid volume? Well, in the lab, had we been using graduated cylinders, we would be using milliliters. But sometimes you can get bigger than milliliters and use liters. All right, you're going to do awesome on the test. You've been studying for a while, and now this is fresh in your mind. Do your thing. Show me what a superstar you are.